This presentation is on the technique named polarography. Basically, it is an instrumental technique and it is helpful in identification of the chemical elements and applicable to the analysis of alloys and many inorganic compounds. Polarography also helps in detection and identification of numerous types of organic compounds and to study the chemical equilibria and the rate of the reaction in solution. Polarography is a type of voltammetry where the working electrode is a dropping mercury electrode or a static mercury drop electrode, which are useful for their wide cathodic ranges and renewable surfaces. In this, the current versus potentials are recorded when gradual changing of the current takes place when current is applied to the cell. Zarlov Hrabovsky was the inventor of the polarographic method. He is also known as the father of electroanalytical chemistry. He is the recipient of Nobel Prize in 1959. His contribution to electroanalytical chemistry cannot be overestimated. All voltammetric methods used now in electroanalytical chemistry originates from polarography developed by him. The polarographic cell contains a solution of interest, a stable reference electrode, a small area of indicator electrode, an auxiliary or a counter electrode. Apart from all this, we have the supporting electrolyte, like potassium chloride is added to the sample solution to eliminate migration current. The oxygen present in the sample solution is removed by passing nitrogen or using alkaline pyrogalol solution. Maximum suppressors are added in the required concentration range. When all these things are done, the initial and the final potential is set in the instrument and the current voltage curve is recorded. From the polarogram, half-wave potential and diffusion current is determined and thus qualitative and quantitative analysis is performed. As you all can see, this is a diagram of the polarographic setup of a dropping mercury electrode. It has an inlet for nitrogen gas, a counter electrode which is made up of platinum. We have the reference electrode and the dropping mercury electrode as well as the glass capillary in the setup. This is the working of the dropping mercury electrode. As you all can see in the diagram as well as in the text over here, that the mercury drops forms at the end of the capillary delivery tube, grows with time to a certain size and then it falls off. The lifetime of the drop is of the order 5 seconds. Electrochemistry is done on the mercury drop, for example amalgam formation, and the electrode is regenerated following the loss of each droplet. Increasing potential is applied as a linear function with respect to time between the dropping mercury electrode and the auxiliary electrode. Scan time is of the order 10 minutes and a typical voltage range is from 0 to 2000 millivolts. Actual potential of the dropping mercury electrode is measured using a reference electrode, typically a standard Calmel electrode. As I have told in the previous slide, the mercury drop will be stable at a flow rate of 5 to 30 drops per minute. Voltage is from 50 to 200 millivolts per minute. Drop life is 2 to 12 seconds. Potential range, as you can see, is from 0.4 to -2 volts. The advantages of mercury electrode. It is extremely accurate as the mercury capillary is very narrow and is able to analyze very small volume of the analyte. Aircraft handling capability is excellent as it is capable to handle 1000 to 2000 aircraft. It has a large coverage. Dropping mercury electrode facility provides coverage up to 200 nanometer. The surface area of the electrode can be calculated from the weight of the drop. Surface area of the electrode is reproducible. So these are some of the advantages. The disadvantages of dropping mercury electrode are it has a limited potential, the capillary is very small, so as a result of which clogging occurs, which leads to malfunction. Mercury, as you know, is very toxic. The presence of non-Faradic current is also there, and oxygen is readily oxidized. So these are the disadvantages of using dropping mercury electrode. This is a graph for qualitative determination of the various metals. As you can see, copper, lead, cadmium, zinc, manganese, aluminium, barium, vanadium. They all are coming on the different lines of the spectrum, as you can see. This is the quantitative polarogram. Here the point of inflection in the current voltage curve is known as half phase potential and is characteristic or typical for every element of functional group. This is the qualitative aspect. The diffusion current measured is proportional to the concentration of that particular compound. This is a quantitative aspect. Thus, polarography can be used for both qualitative and quantitative analysis of the compound. See in the slide before, the diffusion current is mentioned. The diffusion current is, as you can see, when the potential of the working electrode is sufficiently negative, the rate of reduction of cadmium ions to cadmium is governed by the rate at which cadmium ions can reach the electrode. In this case, the limiting current is called diffusion current. So diffusion current is exactly a limiting current when the rate of electrolysis is controlled by the rate of diffusion of species to the electrode. This is the term residual current, as you've seen in the earlier slides. This is the current which is present even in the absence of the analyst. That means a small current continuously flows in the electrochemical cells when things are not in use also. And these type of current are of two types, a Faradic current and the charging current. Faradic current arises due to oxidation and reduction of trace impurities present, and the charging current is used to charge or discharge the capacitor, which heats up the capacitor slowly and slowly. It is also known as condenser current. The limiting current, as seen in the graph earlier, it is a steady state current at the electrode surface. That is, when applied potential is sufficiently cathodic, such as OX is reduced at the electrode. Factors affecting the diffusion current, this is given by Lekovich equation, and the major factors which affect the diffusion current is concentration. Diffusion current is directly proportional to the concentration of the electro-reducible ion. The second factor which affects is temperature. Diffusion current varies with respect to temperature. It is directly proportional. Viscosity of the medium. Diffusion coefficient depends upon the viscosity of the medium. Hence, diffusion current also varies. Fourth is the capillary characteristic. The bore size of the capillary, drop time in seconds, and the pressure of the mercury will also affect the diffusion current as they alter the flow characteristic of mercury droplets. And last but not the least is the presence of maximum suppressors. Maximum suppressors like gelatin, dye stuff, and surfactants will affect the diffusion current also. I think I have made myself clear in some of the basic concepts of polarography and the terms used over here, as well as by graphical representation about the advantages and disadvantages of dropping mercury electrodes. And this has been the basis of many more instrumental techniques. Like polarography is the strength of many instrumental techniques used by an analytical chemist, as well as in detection of large number of substances and organic compounds also. So I hope this presentation is helpful to you in having a better understanding of the concept of polarography. Thank you for your patience listening.